Hey, welcome everybody to the Crown Council live stream. I'm Greg Anderson, and I'm joined today by Joey Smith. Joey, happy
Thank you,
Thursday.
Greg. Great to be here with you. Thank you.
I wouldn't say that we're the second string, but Stuart is pretending to be working. He is in Hawaii. If you'd like to all send him your best wishes.
Yeah.
He's taking a great week with his family, and we miss him, and he is gone. And Steve is up in Montana with a big group of Crown Council members fly fishing today. So I know you all feel bad for them.
Yes.
But we are here, and we have some great things to go through today. So
Yeah.
Joey, first thing I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about Smiles for Life.
Oh, so
good. I'm going to share my screen here a little bit, if I can. And here we go.
What an amazing.
You should be able to see. Can you see my Smiles for Life screen?
Yes, I can.
We are getting near the end of the Smiles for Life campaign, and I want to go over just a few of the things that are important about the end of the campaign. So let's get to it. First, today, the 22nd of June, is the last day that you may order whitening kits for the campaign.
Like today.
Say what?
Today. Exactly.
Today, the 22nd. It's open until midnight, but you do have to have it in today. That's the last day that Ultradead is providing us with free kits. Keep it all in context, the official end of the campaign is the 30th of June. However, we will receive contributions in the office here through the 1st of August. We do that because we know that you've got patients that are scheduled through the month of July. So we have to have a cutoff for local charities.
Right.
So on August the 1st, we say that anything we get after August the 1st, we move into the 2024 campaign, and that'll be the official cutoff for local charity contributions. On August the 1st, we will send a letter to each participating office. In that letter, we're going to tell you how much money we believe you have raised, what your local charity is, and how many kits you have received, and how many kits you have used. And one thing to be very careful of is you may want to go into the Premium Hub and click on the contributions link and be sure that your numbers match our numbers. And we know that there are some that don't. We have about $12,000 in what we call miscellaneous contributions. So those are contributions that somebody charged a credit card for, and down in the little box where you click the button that says these are from the office of Dr. Jones, the box was empty.
Oh boy.
So if you look, just compare them. If you have a problem, you can call Erin. She'll fix you up. Be sure that the two are the same, so that we're sure that that's done by the 1st of August. The first week of September, we will send checks to your office for your local charity, and we highly recommend that you make an appointment with your local charity and hand deliver that check.
What a great opportunity.
It reinforces the relationship and provides some real good face-to-face time. And if this is a long-term relationship for you, great opportunity to reinforce what you would like that local charity do to help you for next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah, it's been a great year.
That's awesome. Okay.
A great year, don't you think, Greg?
Say what?
It's been a great year, don't you think?
It has.
With a lot of people right on the cusp of breaking into the coveted $10,000 raised. So they're right there, and there's so many that are already there. It's been so fun to watch.
A couple of other things. The kit reconciliation, I'm going to go back. Every kit that is sent to us from Ultradent must be accounted for. So kits, the kits that you've received, the kits that you've used will be in that letter that we're going to send on the 1st of August. And if there are any kits that are unused, you've agreed to purchase all of those unused kits. And it's $29.97 for the take-home kits, $79.49 for Boost, and that's a 40% discount off of Ultradent's list pricing. But you'll make that as a contribution to Smiles for Life. There'll be some instructions on how to do that. But the important thing is that all kits have to be accounted for prior to our sending you the local charity distribution. Hang on, moving ahead. We are right on the cusp of $50 million. I mean, we're going to make it by the 1st of August.
Oh boy.
And I just wanted to say, awesome job, guys. $50 million, 26 years. What a great effort by a lot of great people. And thank you for that.
It's incredible. Unbelievable.
It is. One final thing I'd like to say about Ultradent.
Wow.
I want to bring up a note here. We had a nice conversation with the people at Ultradent a couple of weeks ago. And one of the things that they said to us was that there were some offices that were doing Smiles for Life that wouldn't take the time to meet with them when they called and asked if they could stop by the office. And we just like to say that as a valued partner, we owe these people a lot. And one of the things that you can do in your office is when your sales rep comes, you heap praise on them and you welcome them with open arms. And on behalf of Smiles for Life and on behalf of your office, thank them. Put your arms around them. Make them feel welcome. That's my advice and counsel for the day.
Great advice, great counsel. They've done so much good.
So let's get on with the program. We have Peter Maroon in the waiting room. DJ, if you'll bring him on, let's get educated.
We need to. We like that.
Peter.
Hey.
You're looking very backgroundy there.
Oh, am
Awesome.
Looks good. Welcome.
Thank you.
Peter, you know Joey. Of course, I'm Greg, and Peter is the grand poobah of Direct Diagnostics. And I don't know your official title, Peter, so grand poobah, grand llama.
Well, I don't think I'm that. I think Tom Neighbor Sr. is that. So I'll give him that credit. But I'm the vice president of sales here at Direct Diagnostics. So
I have, I'm a big fan of Direct Diagnostics, and I thought it would be a great idea for Peter to share with all of you today some of the things that we have learned about what he does in saliva testing. And Peter, maybe you could share with everybody how saliva testing how it helps with treatment. I mean, I see a few things on your screen here that are almost frightening.
Mm-hmm.
80% of American adults over 35 have some gum disease, and 50% of heart attacks and strokes are triggered by
Yeah.
oral pathogens.
100%.
That in itself is frightening. Maybe I just answered my own question.
Yeah, it's, Greg, it's truly not a joking matter. I mean, I'm smiling now because we're doing a lot of great things, right? And salivary testing has been around for a long time, but it just really hasn't been adopted in the dental world. Can't figure out why, right? So, Dr. Tom Nabis, I mentioned him earlier, Dr. Tom Nabis Sr., we consider him the grandfather of salivary testing, brought the technology here in the early 2000s from Germany and Europe and started testing, right? So about 5 years ago, he approached us to really advance the technology. Got in touch with Direct Diagnostics because did his research, knew that Direct Diagnostics had the latest and greatest technology in advancing salivary diagnostics. So, he basically worked with us to create the most sensitive, accurate, and made it more affordable, right, for everyone. So, and to get testing to become more of a norm, because when you think about salivary testing and treatment outcomes, I mean, you're truly bringing a diagnostic tool to dentistry, which, we're not really doing that much in dentistry today as far as diagnosis and using a diagnostic tool. Like we have the periodontal probe, which was, brought in 1936, and Dr. Nabis likes to, talk about that a lot but the periodontal probe is a very important tool, but you're using that to measure bone loss after the fact that the disease has already caused it, right? So when you advance to 2022 and 2023 with where salivary diagnostics and the technology has come, you can now use a true medical model and a diagnostic tool to basically detect the pathogens that are causing the problems, the alveolar bone loss, the periodontitis, and so on and so forth, and get an accurate count of the amount of those pathogens in the mouth. So you're using a true medical model. And then by bringing that medical model, now you're able to diagnose and treat based on that detection and that diagnostic, right? Because periodontitis is a bacterial infection. So why aren't we looking at the bacteria that cause the disease, right? And that's what we're bringing, that's what we're doing. So, and then by detecting those pathogens early and often, you're basically able to develop a targeted, pinpointed treatment plan based on the pathogens that are in the mouth. And if you detect them early, you can use less invasive treatments to rid those pathogens from the mouth and bring that patient to a state of health, faster than waiting for advanced disease and then trying to work at it at the back end. So we're going upstream, right? We're trying to detect the disease first and foremost, figure out where it's at, and then target that treatment toward that. Does that make sense?
It does. And one of the things I learned about this is I'm a pretty regular guy in the dental practice. My hygienist heaps praise on me, and I figured, I'll take this test, I'll be good. One of the things I learned is you can't tell by looking. The test, I got naughty results. They were not green when I got them. And that we know that the mouth is the window of wellness. And some of the things you can't see when you look in there.
Yep, because you hit the nail on the head right there. Periodontal disease is a subclinical disease, and a lot of times the signs and symptoms are not visible. And a lot of us as dental clinicians, we go and we look at, for signs and symptoms, but you actually can't see them in a lot of cases. So that's where testing plays a role as well.
So I get tested, and we now know that we have a problem. What's the economic impact of being able to test?
Well, again, when we talk about affordability, I mean, our test, the most the dental office will pay is $68. Most offices are keeping it under $100 for the patient. Some are actually charging, the normal price is around $99. Some offices aren't even charging the patient for that, right? Because, and as far as the economic impact on the office and what it brings back to the office is that, they have third-party verification or validation for their treatment suggestions, right? It's not them telling, that test result, as you saw, is actually showing an infection, right? So when a patient sees that, they're gonna say, all right, how do I get rid of that, right? So again, in dentistry and with periodontal disease, it's the only place that we and I hate to say this, is that we let a bacterial infection keep going and going and going and tolerate it, right? If we had a bacterial infection on our skin or on our foot or anywhere else, we're going to do whatever we need to do to clear that up. But in the mouth, we're letting it live. And that's where that's where the problems start to arise, right? So, and again, that's where it comes in, where we're bringing that medical model to dentistry. When you think about economic impact as well on, restorative procedures, and we talk about different things like failing implants, crowns. I mean, anything else that you do in the office too, the bacteria can affect those restorative procedures, right? And make them fail. So, you talk about that. If you test before, why wait for failure, right? Let's go in and detect those things before we do those, high impact treatments, right? And then go from there. So, I mean, we have a bunch of different taglines. We say, stop guessing, start testing. Another one is, why wait for failure, start testing. I mean, it's just stuff like that. You think that more people will adapt to it. And we're actually seeing this. So we're actually seeing more adoption since we've been in the industry for about, we're going on 2 years since we launched in the fall of 2021. And we've been doing phenomenal. We have a ton of clients now. We have offices that are testing upwards of over 100 tests per month. That really buy into the testing and what it does for their patients, and how they can actually give them better treatment outcomes, right? And get better treatment outcomes because of the test and what they're doing and how they're able to pinpoint those treatments and do that diagnosis, first and foremost, right?
Well, the test itself is very visual. I mean,
Mhm.
the results of the test are very visual, and for me, it's kind of a contest. I like being tested so that I can see whether or not the treatment that was prescribed is making any progress.
100%. And that's the medical model too. So if we do not every treatment that we do works for every person the same way, right? So, and that's the medical model, right? And a lot of people get lost in dentistry, and and what we try to do is more scale and root plane in certain things that we're accustomed to, that we learned in dental school, and even the dental schools are starting to realize this, right? So we partnered with 2 great dental schools now, or with Crete, and then also with LMU Dental School, where they're going to actually teach salivary diagnostics in their curriculum, because it's that important now, right? Because we can't keep doing the same thing over and over for everyone, right? We really need to test, get a baseline test, and then go from there, pinpoint the treatment on that, and then retest again to see if like you just said, if the treatment's working. If it's not working, then we have to adjust, just like they do in the medical world, right? And
Exactly.
again, all treatments, products, and everything work the same for everyone. And that's what this points out and points back. So so there's a true economic side as well. And that's what that brings in. It's going to save time, it's going to save, money, you're going to have more treatment acceptance, and so on and so forth. So it's going to build a better practice.
Talk about the test. The gold standard test is the HR5 high risk pathogen test. How is that test different from other tests, other salivary tests?
So, and this is what Dr. Neighbors did when he developed the test and came to us, because we have the most accurate and sensitive technology in the marketplace, right? So we could detect these things at their earliest levels. So, and it's far more than any other test on the market, right? But one of the things that he did with this test is he based it on the latest science and research. So over the last 6 to 7 years. And that's where he saw that that wasn't being done, with other technologies and what the new science is, what the new thresholds are for these pathogens, right? So that's why he focused on the five. The five that are the first four are known as the red complex, and especially in the medical world. The medical world knows of the red complex pathogens, right? So it's no longer a threshold for some of these pathogens. AA and PG are the most detrimental oral pathogens of the mouth. So the latest science and research shows that those need to be brought down to their lowest levels because they're so high risk in systemic disease, right? So we detect those at 10 genomes or 10 to the 1 or 10 copies of DNA. And I know that's a lot of factors for there. And other tests aren't even close to us, right? And then on the other three, we're at 10 to the 2 or 100 copies. So we have the lowest sensitivity. We're able, if offices adopt testing, we're able to detect the pathogens far sooner than when they start causing advanced disease. And then you're able to treat them with less invasive treatments, if that makes sense, right? So you're able to use less invasive treatments to rid those from the mouth and bring them down, okay? And that's how we differ. We give you the entire bacterial load that's in that pathogen. We test for all the different subspecies within that strain. So we're getting all the different strains within AA, within PG, within TD, TF, and all that matters, right? So we're able to do it, and then in the future we can actually divide those out as well, right? So, but that's why this test is different than the others. We're very focused on the five because these are the five that really matter, not only in dentistry but also in the medical world. And that's why we focus on the five, right? As you control these five, you're basically controlling the rest. And there's plenty of research and testing to show that. So as you bring these five down, you're bringing the other species in the mouth down, and you're basically taking control of the oral microbiome. Okay. And that's what makes us different. And then the other thing is affordability. I mean, the most an office will pay again is $68 for our test, and it goes down depending on their testing volume. So.
Okay, so I want you to take off your education hat. You've done a really good job with your education hat, and put on your sales hat for a minute.
Yeah.
And we got a couple of minutes left. Why don't you explain to our Crown Council members, if they don't already have a relationship with Direct Diagnostics and with you, what is the easiest way to get started, and maybe more importantly, what kind of support Direct Diagnostics offers?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So we have a great partnership with Crown Council. We love you guys. We've been, with you since we've launched. So I think it was probably our 4th month, and we attended that first meeting in Dallas, right?
Where I got tested.
Yeah, and we've established a lot of great relationships, and we have a special program for Crown Council members as well. So what we try to do is there's no obligation to get started with us. That's like our personal guarantee, right? So offices can come in, get started with us, test themselves, test their team, up to five tests for free. We don't charge for that. We want them to experience the process of testing, reading the test results, and then going through part of our educational program so they understand, who to test, how to interpret the test, and then what to do after the results come in, right? They could go through all that process, and there's no money's exchanged hands. So we want them to experience the process, to buy into testing, right? And experience that. And then once they start testing patients, that's when they start being billed, right? So again, we want them to come in, experience the entire process, and then go through that experience, and then decide for themselves if this is going to be beneficial to their practice or not. And I mean, we're taking an educated bet, and we're betting on the process on ourselves that we're going to take them and they're going to go out the gate and start testing, right?
Sure.
So, and we built a lot of great resources. We have marketing tools, we have patient, brochures, information that they could give to the patient. We have videos, we have CE, we have social media marketing. We built a ton of different tools that nobody else has, that so the offices can actually take this and promote it to their patients and really, be a leader in their communities by, showing that they're doing this new technology for their patients and whatnot. So, but those are all the different things that we do. We'd love to support Crown Council. And again, I think you mentioned it before, part of the proceeds that come in go back to Smilers for Life program. So we love that aspect of it. And those donations have been increasing, because the more offices that we get, the more tests that are done. Again, it's on each individual test that's donated back. So.
Well, thank you, Peter. I'd just say personally that I like doing business with people that I like. And I like doing business with you because you're a guy that tells the truth and has been not only very helpful, but very generous. And we appreciate you. We're going to post this on the Crown Council's website under Direct Diagnostics. And anybody who needs to know how to get a hold of Peter, just ping us. His contact information is also on the website. So thank you, Peter.
We appreciate you guys too as well. Thank you. And the next meeting is in Austin, which is where where our lab is and where our headquarters are. So
bring the truck. Huh?
You're in our hometown. So,
thank you, Peter. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Take care. Appreciate it.
He is a good man.
Wow, Greg, that's so incredible. That, it's an amazing technology. It's just what they had developed, but the bottom line is that they're getting a head start on improving people's overall health. I mean, getting rid of,
and you get the test and it's fixable. You can fix it.
It's amazing.
We have next up the Coach's Corner. And this was recorded, I believe, yesterday or the day before. Stuart did it right before he left. And we have our coach, Chris Katonis, who is in the office of Dr. Sandra Armstrong. And I am going to bring that up right now. Wait a minute. No, I'm not. I'm going to bring it up with sound right now. And here we go.
Great.
All right, welcome to the live stream, Coach's Corner. Hi, Chris Taconis. How are you?
Hello, Stu Anderson. How are you?
I am very good. Grateful to have you on. Thankful for Coach's Corner. This is where we meet with our TOPS practice advisors as they are out traveling amongst Crown Council offices. Chris, who do you have with us today?
I've got two smiling dentists, and they're really quiet. This is not normal for this practice. I've got the lovely Dr. Sandra Armstrong, as well as Dr. Amy Watts. They are rocking and rolling in Southlake, Texas, just changing little lives one day at a time, and getting through their relationships with the parents as well.
Very fun. Grateful to have you both on. You guys have been working all morning, right? Chris, you've already been doing training and working with the team. Is that correct? Yes.
Correct. Yes.
Dr. Armstrong said in the trenches. That's good. Dr. Armstrong, could you tell us a little bit about your practice? Just introduce how it works, where you are, and just a brief background of your practice.
Well, this is my 33rd year in private practice. And we added Dr. Watts 15 years ago. So she's a partner in this practice. And it's been just great. Treating kids or children, I should say, is wonderful. And we would really appreciate getting to have more and more and more here with us. But we have a very motivated team that's very giving. Our team is very much like family. We love our team. I believe they love us too. And we have some fun games and incentive programs that we use in the office that really make a difference. And we feel like in our office, if we're not having fun, we're not working.
I like that. Very fun. Dr. Watts, could you introduce your connection to the practice when you started and how you found how you found Giggles and Grins, please?
So I joined in 2008, right out of residency, and worked as an associate for a few years, and then had the opportunity to buy in, and that's when we kind of rebranded as Giggles and Grins in 2012. So 11 years plus strong with that structure, and it's just been amazing to learn from Dr. Armstrong and take all of her experience and wisdom and apply that and try to then share that with our new associate and continue to grow the practice and care for lots of little mouths.
I love that. Dr. Armstrong said that you guys are family. Can we dig into that a little better? Dr. Watts, what is it that you do in your practice that would make team members feel that way? Specific things that maybe other Crown Council practices could learn from.
We really try to know them on a more personal level. So we like to celebrate a lot of milestones. We absolutely celebrate every birthday. We celebrate every anniversary with the practice. Was that babies? Yeah, absolutely. Yes, we've got one that we're waiting on anxiously. One of our assistants is about to have a new baby. Celebrating marriages. Our associate just got married in November, and we all went and celebrated and have showers, and it's just a way of truly honoring their personal lives as well as their lives here at the office, and so that they know that we are invested in them and we care for them.
Very cool.
And Stu, these doctors came to leadership with TOPS, and they added a layer to all the things that Dr. Watts was talking about in regards to creating sense of family, healthy culture, just fun, and share what you both have implemented regarding that gold thing on your lapel.
See, Stuart, my gold lapel.
I see it. We can see it.
Okay, well, Steve was teaching us about a phrase that you should use when somebody needs your help, and it's called, "Yes, I'm glad to do it." So he put up on the slide a little gold medallion, and it was called an Assist Award. So I instantly thought of, that's a great thing. So I went and had them printed on the Monday I got back from the course. We had them in a week, and the staff all gets enough stickers for the month. And so we go around to each other when somebody assists you or help you or help in some way. Then one team member or multiple team members can give them an Assist Award, and you wear that proudly all day. And then we're keeping count of them. And at the end of every month, the person with the most Assist Awards gets a bonus.
Ooh, I like this. This is great.
Yeah,
It's been very motivating, and everybody's so jealous when somebody gets one. They're like, "What did you do that I didn't do?" So it's really been quite motivating.
That is a great idea. I love that. What does it say again?
It says Assist Award.
Assist Award. Very
Yes.
cool. It's like that's like the queen of happy to do it. That is how that is awesome. Very good. Hey, Chris, you spent a lot of time with a lot of practices. Could you give us a couple things that you see here from Giggles and Grins that set them apart, especially in the community? Why are patients and team members choosing this practice?
well, there's a lot of history here as well, Stu. When I initially had the opportunity to work with Sandra and Amy, they were at a different location in South Lake. It was a much smaller practice, and I was really proud of them because they worked hard to grow their business, and now they're in an equally great location with a bigger office space. They're able to serve more patients. They're more visible, in my opinion. And they created a space that they really dreamt of having that would benefit their kids and the patients that come in. The other things on top of that, like what you're asking about regarding what they do in the community, they're very active in giving, doing good. In fact, the doctors pulled me in their office this morning because they are going to be active with the Carroll cheerleaders in South Lake. And they're going to be whitening the cheerleading team. Doing it right. They've got a whole project in line to do that. And they're really excited about it because it's not just about the fact that this team, if you're not from Texas, they're really well known, this cheerleading team, this spirit team. They were even on AGT last year, America's Got Talent. So they're really well known, yet their goal is that they become the dentist for youth in this community and reach out in any way they can, whether it's supporting schools, any other, about the other charity is, I can't think of it.
We do Save a Smile.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, and that's caring for indigent or the underserved, I should say, community. And then we also support another home. It's for abused wives, and we take care of all their kiddos. So we always try to reach out and just help those that are less fortunate than we are.
Wow. What a great way to do good. That is great to hear. Excellent.
It seems different to me, Stuart, just because it's not only about reaching out to the community, they're also seeing patients that are part of those charities, that are benefiting from those charities. So I like that aspect of it.
Yeah, very good. Dr. Watts, quick question about the patients who come to the practice. When you guys are crafting the experience that these patients have when they come, what is it that sets you apart, or what do you do different for young patients when they come to your practice, which gets them to come back and talk about you?
A lot goes into it, honestly. I mean, we start days in advance preparing and making sure that we have our ducks in a row to know why they're coming, what their needs are, to make sure their needs are met, both the patient and the parents. Discussing them in our morning meetings that day. And then really guiding through step by step that the parent and the child feel seen, feel heard. Of course, we have all the fun bells and whistles for the kids. They get their prizes, they get their balloons, they get their sugar-free lollipops, so they know it's a fun place. But we make sure that we really take the time to be good listeners with the parents, and then they see the smile on the child at the end, and so then they leave happy as well.
I love that. Very good. Chris, you almost said something there. What was that?
Oh gosh, you're gonna I've learned so much from these two ladies when we first started working together about clinical things that I didn't know that's much different than seeing an adult, and just the way that they roll, and just like Amy was saying, their listening skills have to be really up. I appreciate how well they communicate at their morning opportunity meeting, because as some of the Crown Council members know, it's a different setup in a pedo practice where there's a large bay area, and it's important when they're seeing 100+ patients a day, some days, that everybody is on it, that they have information that they share, that they're able to communicate really well. Some kids being sedated and things like that. So I am proud of them because they really got in there and they've implemented and kept going the morning opportunity meeting, and made sure that stuck so that they could take great care of the kids.
Very cool. One, we call it Coach's Corner. The best practices in the Crown Council have great coaches and great mentors. Chris is one of them. Chris, don't blush. Maybe could you guys talk a little bit about why having a coach is important?
Oh, wow. I'll start with that
Yeah, take
because
that.
I've known Chris a little bit longer, I think. But we've had some crises in our office before. We also have great positive things, but when I'm in crisis, I have her phone number on speed dial. And I always have great solutions. She has great verbiage. She strives to make everything a win-win, win for us, win for the patient, win for the employees. So it's great tools, and it's learning those tools from her that helps us to thrive and survive. And so it just makes the practice so much easier to manage, to run. It makes me happy to come to work, to know that I have a liaison that I can lean on if push comes to shove. And yeah, it's just been a great fit, and she's a wonderful mentor.
Very cool. Chris, good job.
I need to give her a gold sticker.
Oh yeah, golden sticker. Yes. Well, very good. We appreciate your time today. I know you guys are very busy learning from Chris, so grateful to share your example with the rest of the Crown Council membership. Thanks very much. Anything we missed, Chris? Anything we want to wrap up with, or anything I missed?
I think we're great. I've taken their time long enough because they're waiting.
Cool. Thanks so much, you guys. Grateful for you.
Wow, that's a great group.
Greg, that's so fun to see. I just have to chime in here because I was at Leadership Academy. I was sitting at Sandra Armstrong's table when Steve was presenting, and she was there with 5 or 6 other dentists, and they were brainstorming. And to see her actually, she thought of the idea there, bounced it off them, and then actually take it, and it's there happening.
Implement it in the practice.
Oh, kudos to her.
I want one of those.
Yeah.
One.
Kudos to
Well,
the top people. It's so great. So fun.
I'll tell you what I appreciate. I appreciate their commitment to doing good.
Oh,
You know, they are focused on not just what's going on in the practice, but on being deeply involved in the community.
man.
And we have seen a little bit of that ourselves this week. One of my favorite things that we do in the Crown Council is the Young Dentist program. And then there's a long feed into getting to the actual patient. But the young dentists pick a patient. They all get together and pick someone who otherwise couldn't afford to have their smile redone. And this last weekend, we had the first of that. So the patient has now gone through that process and they're in temps. And Stu and I had an opportunity this week to create a little bit of a recap of the experience, the patient. We got some before and afters, and I would just love to share that with you for a few minutes.
That's awesome. This will be good.
All right, Gregor, last weekend we had the Young Dentist program. So our Young Dentist program started years ago, almost 20 years ago. And this is an ongoing opportunity that our young dentists in the Crown Council have to be mentored by some of the very best doctors, whether it's cosmetically or our lab, our great Utah Valley Dental Lab, our partners there. This is just a great opportunity for all our young dentists to be mentored by the very best. And we met last week. So we were together here in Salt Lake City. Before we meet and talk about a few of the details, maybe you could give a little background, a little history on the Young Dentist program, how it started, where it started, and kind of our vision behind how it works.
Sure. About 20 years ago, I had a conversation with David Hornbrook, and as we were working on the awards for the annual event, one of the things he offered to us was to take a young Crown Council member, a young dentist, somebody that was, 1 to 5 years out of school, and to take the very best one of those, and he would offer to them a free seat in his cosmetic dentistry course. And we even voted on those. We created annual Young Dentist of the Year award. And we did that for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years. And one day David came to me and he said, you know what? We shouldn't do just one. We should offer this opportunity to all of the young dentists, all of the Crown Council members who are 1 to 5 years out of school. And we should make this a way that we can give to a someone in need a smile.
Mhm.
And so we came up with this idea that we would invite all of the young dentists that wanted to participate to come, and that they could suggest somebody from their practice or someone that they knew who was not able to afford a smile makeover. And then they would vote on which one they wanted to help. And then they would take that case, analyze it, do the smile design on it. We would bring that patient in, do all of the work on that patient, and give that, I don't call them needy, because that makes it sound not what I mean, but someone who otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to have this great experience of a really beautiful smile, and have somebody like Dave Hornbrook work on them. And all of the young dentists then would have the opportunity to see exactly how it was done and have the courage to do that in their own practice. And of course, in the last couple of years, we've added Dr. Chase Larson to that equation, who is helping David. And the concept here is David's view is that he wanted to be a resource to our young dentists and pass on what he knew to them, and hopefully then they would pass it on to the next generation of young dentists.
And that is exactly what's happening. 4 or 5 years ago, Dr. Chase Larson won the Young Dentist
That's right,
of the
that's
Year
right.
award, and now he's an instructor side by side with Dr. Hornbrook. Hopefully, this live stream that we're doing right now, we'll take this recording and we'll post it onto the Crown Council membership website, so the young dentists can have a great introduction, a background to how it started and what it is. Our hope is that, you know, there is so much good happening in the Crown Council. Our older doctors, our more established, maybe I'll use the word seasoned doctors, they know so much. And the Young Dentist program is just one opportunity that this community has to help a younger generation of leaders get into dentistry and get jump started in a way that they didn't have. And that's being able to watch how the Young Dentist program works. Really is that system. It's an awesome opportunity for these young doctors to learn from some of the best.
Well, and it's grown. I mean, in the first couple of years we did this, we had 5 and 10 and
That's
then
right.
15 and then 20. And now we've got nearly 50
That's
every
right.
year that take advantage of this opportunity. And it kind of grows organically, because the guys that are in the program want their friends to be part of it, and they recommend their friends to it. And
That's right.
I know you've had to cap it at 50 so that we're sure we don't overwhelm the facility. My
That's
favorite
right.
part, personally, I love watching the young dentists and I love watching them learn. But frankly, from my perspective, the funnest thing we do is watch the reaction of someone who could not afford to have their smile fixed
Absolutely.
see something beautiful when they look in that mirror.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to do right now. This was just a little introduction to that. We are going to get online with Dr. Mackenzie Faringa and her patient Lily. So as Greg talked about, all of the young dentists who participate year to year. So in 2022, all of these doctors signed up. Then they attended the annual event in Salt Lake City back in January of 2023. And in doing so, they all brought a single case of someone who needed a smile design. They presented that case and then they all voted, and Lily was the one that's chosen. So I'm going to play her submission video, the video that she used to introduce herself to the Young Dentist program. And then I'm going to play her video, her transformation video. So we were just with her last week, and she just got the temporaries put on. So I'll play that, and then we'll go right into our interview with Mackenzie and Lily. So let's do it.
Terrific.
Right. Hi, my name's Lily. I am a patient of Dr. Faringa at the moment, who's wonderful, by the way. And I'm here to tell you my story about my teeth and my mouth and my self-confidence. So I was raised in a family that was really, really wonderful about dental hygiene. I never had cavities. I didn't have to have braces. It was great. And around 14 or 15, I started really developing issues with my self-confidence, self-esteem, body image, body dysmorphia, coupled with anxiety and depression that was untreated. And it started out as anorexia, and as it wasn't treated, it developed into bulimia nervosa, which in the dental field I'm sure is a common killer. Everybody knows it will destroy your teeth, and it certainly did. Anyway, here I am now. I am 22 at the moment, and I've been in recovery for about a year and a half now. And I'm actually, ironically, in the food business now. I cook at a local French Basque fine dining restaurant, and my ultimate goal is to become a chef. I've kind of reframed food for myself into something creative and something that I love and can embrace. And as I've recovered and gained confidence through that, through my abilities, things that have nothing to do with my body, I've gotten to a point where I just want my smile back. And yeah, as somebody that has lost so much confidence, not being able to smile as much as I would like to is difficult, or at least feeling insecure about my smile. So I'm super, super excited to be having work done to restore that. And I'm so, so lucky to have found Dr. Faringa. I consider her a friend at this point. And yeah, as a 22-year-old living in this little apartment, I do not have a lot of expendable income as much as I work. And so I'm really, really lucky and really excited that I have the opportunity to share my story with you all. So thank you very, very much for listening, and I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you.
She thought it was good. You might look into it. About that face, well, it's a Fox plane basically, and then the enter that penitent.
Reaction's not going to be normal.
That's okay. Don't worry about that, Lily. Don't worry.
want you all to know that like it would be more.
There was zero expectation, as you can tell.
Yeah, it does. It's fine.
Yeah.
100 eyes.
No pressure at all.
No.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Ready? Yeah, I suppose. Oh wow. Oh my god. Whose mouth is that? Oh my god. That is insane. Wow, thank you so much. Oh my god.
Good job, Lily.
Give Lily a round of applause.
All right. All right, everybody. I'm Stuart. Greg, welcome. Lily, how are you?
I'm doing awesome.
Very good. And Dr. Faringa, grateful you had a few minutes during your workday. I know it's always so busy to connect, so thank you.
Of course, happy to be here.
We were just last week together at the Young Dentist program. Kind of a different experience for these two in the Young Dentist program. So I thought it'd be fun to share with the rest of the Crown Council members how it went, what it was like, your experience, and then maybe just share with the Crown Council members just what you felt and all those things. That's all we're just trying to share. So
What it feels like to win the jackpot at the lottery.
Yeah, pretty special.
Dr. Faringa, maybe will you start by just sharing your experience with Young Dentist program, how you got into it, and then how you found Lily, how you guys connected?
Sure. So I learned about the Crown Council from Dr. Jared Tyre, who I work with. And so he introduced me to the program and suggested that I join the Young Dentist program, where we have great mentors like Dr. Hornbrook and Dr. Chase Larson, just teaching us about dentistry, aesthetic dentistry, and patient care. And so that is how I got into it. And then part of the program, we were asked to submit a case. And so I knew Lily because she's been coming in and we've been doing a lot of work together, and I knew that she'd be a great candidate, and she's just a great patient. And so, yeah, she was psyched on it. And so we submitted all the cases, and the case was presented in front of all the young dentists and everyone. We reviewed every case that was chosen, and then together we voted for which person we would like to present with the there's a chosen candidate, and Lily was chosen. And so it was just been great. And so this past, or a couple Saturdays ago, we all went to the Roseman Dental School, where Lily came with us, and it was just a really great experience to share.
I agree. Lily, I know that we met right after the annual event. Your journey had kind of started a little before that with McKinsey, but maybe your perspective will be a little different, Lily, but just maybe talk about last weekend and what it was like.
Oh man. Well, first of all, it was really, really exciting. Disclaimer to everybody, my tongue is numb because I was just with Dr. Faringa. So I sound a little weird. But yeah, it was incredible. I went in, of course, super nervous. I at this point have had a lot of dental work done, so I wasn't worried about pain or kind of the invasiveness of the process. I was just kind of whatever. More than anything, it's just kind of emotionally loaded for me. And so I went into it expecting to be in an emotional state, and I kind of prepped myself for that. And honestly, I mean, there was a little bit of that, but for the most part, I felt so comfortable and so welcomed and excited to be there, and everyone was just so kind, and I didn't feel like I was, I didn't feel like a spectacle. I just felt like part of the process, and that was so special to me. And
50 of your best friends watching it happen.
yeah.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, it was really cool. And
Well, I
did
know
meet
those
a
are
lot of cool
temps on
people.
there and they're beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd be happy if these were the permanents, but
Well, they'll look better than that, and they are very
Um,
nice. So.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
One thing I was reminded of watching the process is how cool this profession is. Like, I don't get to see and be part of smile design. I get to do one smile design a year. Maybe Mackenzie, will you talk about that for just a minute? The prospect of being able to do this for the rest of your career, and just how cool dentistry is. Can you talk about that for a minute? Maybe what you felt watching this transformation?
Yeah, so Dr. Larson was completing the preparations and walking us through the smile design. And so he's obviously has such an extensive background with Dr. Hornbrook. So to learn from the masters, without being part of the Young Dentist program, it would have taken, potentially years to get that experience and understanding. And so it's just really great to learn about that and be able to apply it to future patients and just go in with confidence and be able to be part of the smile design process, knowing about the materials, the aesthetics, the calculations that need to be done, and just, understanding it, from being able to intelligently talk to patients about it and just kind of coach them through it.
Nice. Well, so grateful for each of you. Thankful that we can be part of this process just as bystanders, and just thankful for you, Lily, for letting us share this little journey with you. I know, like you said, it is, I was nervous just because I don't do it often. So it was really cool to see. And obviously a couple weeks we'll put the permanent teeth on, but thank you. Gregor, any other thing you want to say?
No, it's just, of all the things we do at the Crown Council every year, this is probably the funnest. It's life-changing for the patient that receives it, and it's just a warm feeling for everybody that's in the room. And I'm sure, Mackenzie, I'm sure that like Stuart said, it is so fun for you to see that this is now a talent which you are going to have ongoing, and have the ability to change people's lives. So good on both of you.
Yeah.
Good job.
So special.
Okay, you guys, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, see ya.
See you later.
Bye.
Wow.
That's just amazing. Wow. Joey, we're over time.
No.
We've done good, but I think we're probably best to call it a day. So thank you, everybody, for being with us on the live stream. And we'll be back next Thursday, 11 a.m. Mountain Time.
Great. Thanks for letting me be here.
Thanks, Joey.
Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.